Sometimes I wonder if I'm here to talk about books or just to share pretty books. And gotta be honest, I think the answer is just to share pretty books. Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of Preethi Was Here. Today, we're going to be talking about this super pretty edition of The Golden Compass, which I swear I've seen for years at Barnes& Noble and just never picked up, except suddenly I did on New Year's Eve because I don't know, I was finally in the mood for it because I'm definitely a mood reader. And also pretty books, I have been eyeing this up for a long time and I was just waiting for the right moment, and 2021 was like, I am the moment. So we have this really pretty outside slip box, and I swear, yes, this is gorgeous, but what's even more gorgeous is the inside. This is the inside, and I swear if they had shown me this even before the slipcase, I would have got this so much sooner because it's so pretty. Like, the art is really gorgeous, and just the textured titling and the feel is like very smooth and shiny, but like not shiny, but it's like not matte, you know what I'm saying? But it's so pretty. I love it. Like, I swear it's probably even prettier than the slipcase. So that's interesting because you wouldn't expect that. And I really, really enjoyed reading The Golden Compass, which I call the polar bear book because half the time I can't remember the title. I'll be like, am I reading The Polar Express? No, it's not. But also, I swear all the covers, or like even the movie cover, I think has like the girl riding the polar bear or something. So that's just like how I remember this. So this is kind of like a classic that like most readers have read in the same way that most readers have read Narnia. I have not read Narnia. Gotta be honest, I probably will never read Narnia unless it comes out with like some super pretty edition like this, because the older I get, I only read pretty books. Not something I'm particularly concerned about, but something I've noticed. And so I started reading this, and right off the bat, we start with like somebody getting poisoned and our main character hiding in the closet and seeing that somebody's about to get poisoned. So we start off at an interesting place, and it just like continues on from there, and I'm super into it. Definitely loved it way more than I ever expected to love the polar bear book. At the most basic level, it's about a main character, Lyra. It could possibly be pronounced Lyra, but I'm gonna go with Lyra for now because I did not do my research. And so she lives in this very like academic environment. She doesn't know who her parents are. She doesn't have any like official guardian, although she has this uncle who's like traveling all the time. And so she's taken care of in this academy, in this college, by like all the scholars, and she has like very informal education, but she's also very smart. And so we start off when her uncle comes in talking about dust, which you may have heard of because like they've been hyping up the Book of Dust series last year because I think the second book came out or something. But so that's where it starts, and so we have dust, which we had to figure out what that is as we continue reading the book. And then there's also this issue with gobblers kidnapping children, and then you have to find out why are they kidnapping children, and it's very interesting. And also there is a theme of immoral experimentation on children, which is sad, and it makes you angry because why are people so terrible? And it's really interesting in this book because they're doing it in the name of something good, but I won't spoil what that is. But it's funny because I also recently watched Awaken, right? And that is also about experimentation on children, but for a very different purpose. But yeah, I don't know why all these like child experimentation things are coming towards me in 2021. It's definitely my fault though, because it's like an old book, but yeah, so that was interesting. And I don't know, I just really love this. Like, normally when I say I love a book, it's like, oh, the characters and like the plot is like, it's not black and white. This one actually, it is very black and white. It's very clear who the good side is, who the bad side is. Of course, some people you don't realize they're bad until later, which is interesting. But like, the people doing the child experimentation are bad, and the people who are not are good. It's pretty simple. But yeah, I loved it. very much, and it's very entertaining. All the characters are like very well developed. They're interesting to read about. This is like the first book in a series, and so there's this whole prophecy, fate, destiny surrounding Lyra, which we don't even know about, but basically she's not allowed to know about that prophecy or destiny. And so I guess if you want to know more about that, you'd have to continue the series. Honestly, like, I love this like to death, but I don't know if I'll continue it, because unless they all have like a pretty edition like this, I don't know. Again, like 70% of the enjoyment of books for me is the prettiness, and like, you know, so if it's not pretty, am I gonna read it? Probably not. Another cool aspect of this book, which also happens in another of my favorite series, actually you can see it right here, A Winter's Promise, which is the first book in a Mirror Visitor series. The other two are back here, and the fourth one's going to be published, I hope, later this year. I really want it. It's the last one, unfortunately. It's a series that was like translated from French, and I do have like high school to college level French skills. So maybe like if I was that desperate, I could like get the fourth book in French and like Google translate the heck out of it, but that would take me like 5 years to read, and then the fourth book would just be published in English before then, so maybe not. Anyway, the similarity between these two is that they both kind of bring in elements of like the Christian God in here, which is kind of startling. Like every time it happens, like it like shook me in that one. I was like, whoa, there's a character named God, what? And then in this one, it's actually more like theology and like the beginning. So like this author brings in Adam and Eve and like literally like lines from the Bible, but then like utilizes it in a way that furthers this story and kind of sets up this story, and that doesn't get revealed until the end, but I thought it was very cool and very well done. And I swear I really want to continue this series, but I want a pretty edition. Like if it's not pretty, I'm not gonna read it. It's a problem. But also I'm doing this thing where I don't add books to my to-read list on Goodreads no matter how much I want to read it, because that way I don't feel obligated to read it. So it really frees me up to not continue series and, you know, start new books that I'm actually interested in. Like, is the second book to this amazing? Maybe. Will I find out? Probably not. I know, you're probably thinking, Preethi, reading only pretty books is not something to be proud of, and I agree, I do. But I'm kind of proud of it. I think the author prefaces this book by saying it's very similar to our own world, but with like slight differences. And then I think in future books, or as the series continues, you get to see like the other worlds, because, well, I don't want to spoil the ending to this, you know, beyond what I've already spoiled for this book. But basically, so every human being, and I thought this was really interesting, has like a little animal shapeshifter who is their kind of like a part of their soul. It's a part of themselves, and so they're called daemons. And I found this very similar, but like also different, because like this is like a soul thing, and then in Crown of Bones, savants can like raise their phantoms, and that's more of like a war thing though, like you utilize them for a purpose, where these are just, no, they're your best friends, they're your buddies, and you have them. And like when you're a child, they shapeshift from like animal to animal, and then the older you grow up, eventually they, you know, choose a single form, and that form kind of like identifies who you are as a person. So the whole idea is very cool. It's like in a very low level form, it's like your own Pokemon who's with you forever. You'll never be alone, which, I mean, you're never alone with your thoughts either, like your brain. So it's like an extension of your brain slash heart slash soul. But yeah, that was very cool. And the whole experimentation thing and Dust is all about like children growing into adults, and, you know, about these daemons. And that was just a very cool aspect. Like, it was unique. I enjoyed it very much. But yeah, it's always nice when you pick up a book because it's pretty, and then it actually turns out to be pretty on the inside too. It's magic. It's a magical feeling. Oh, but like I said, I think this like edition is like pretty old, because like when you take off the cover, some of the like gold lettering is just gone on the spine, and this was like in perfect sealed condition, so that's kind of crazy. I think it's just because it's so old. Come on, there you go, there's my face. And like even like inside there was like some like words that were just like the ink was gone, and I'm like, wow, a truly vintage edition of the Golden Compass. Cool. I still don't know how it happened. Like, bro, lettering goes away when it's sealed. That's, wow. Anywho, it feels very authentic though because of that, so I appreciate it. I wish I could go back to my younger self when I had the confidence to read hardcovers without taking the, you know, the actual jacket off. I wish, but like I want to maintain the pristine condition. And I swear most of my books from when I was younger are in pristine condition, and I carried those things in like my backpacks and stuff and read them with the jacket on. How did I do it? I don't know. I'm convinced that children are magical, because if I did that now, bro, this thing would be dead. Last look at the beautiful cover, and let's put it inside. Boom. And that is the Golden Compass for the Polar Bear book. Very good. I do recommend it if you're in the mood for like a really nice fantasy. It doesn't have to feel too epic. It's very nice and it's adventurous, and oh, I didn't even talk about the polar bear, but ow, oh, took my glasses. But yeah, it's very good. The polar bear is cool. He's a cool character. The uncle's also a cool character, and the plot twist will shake you, man. It will shake you unless you're like a genius, in which case, okay, kudos to you. But yeah, very much enjoyed this book. I'm glad I finally read it. You know, every day I read some classic and I become more of a reader. No, I'm kidding. You can read any book you want and you are a reader. You can read fan fiction, you are a reader. There's no definition of being a reader. Heck, you can read, I don't know, a sign on the wall. You are a reader. Good job. But yeah, that was the Golden Compass. Thanks for watching. Bye. Have a good day.